I want to talk a little bit about being a mechanic, because when I first wanted to be a mechanic, first thing I did was search up on YouTube what it's like to be a mechanic. Now, I can't speak on the way people work where they're working by the job, but I can talk about working hourly and how fortunate I am to have the job that I have, that I had to go through a piece of shit company to get the job that I have. So I'm going to give a little backstory on what it was like for me being a mechanic and how I evolved the mechanic I am now. So one day I'm just chilling on the couch on unemployment. In Canada we have unemployment, pay into that shit, right? So I call up a local Ford dealer. A local is like 45 minutes away. I'm like, hey, I need a job as a mechanic and I ain't really got experience, you know, boots are laced up and ready to work, down to learn, like I want the fucking job. He's like, okay, come see me this day. I'm like, alright, bet. Go in the office, you know, I'm like not really selling myself, but like I'm like, yeah, I want to learn, you know, like I want to be a mechanic. Like I'm not going to school for it. I'm not doing all that fucking bullshit. I just want to work on cars. He's like, okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You can get training through us and all that bullshit. And he gave me a tour of the shop. That's where I met my current boss. I met another guy, and the person who was training me was out that day. So he was on vacation. So I go back the Monday, and they told me the guy that was on vacation is going to be training me starting Monday. So Monday I show up. I was expecting some like fucking old dude, you know, like nope. It was a person younger than me, and we actually became really good friends. His name's Daniel. He also owns the Silver ST. So that's where I met Daniel. He's the one who like trained me to be a mechanic up until working for his dad. So at starting to learn mechanics, I was just doing oil changes. That's it, lube tech, right? I was capable of much more. Like, for example, I do oil changes all week. Go home, I had to change the rear main seal in my 7.3 in my fucking front yard in the goddamn grass, trying to jack up and down with a fucking floor jack underneath the truck. That's like, you know, if I'm capable of that, I'm sure I'm a lot more capable of fucking oil changes. You know, I'm capable of much more than that. So I'm telling this to them, like, hey, like, I want to do more than just oil changes, you know, like, and they're like, okay, well, you know how to do brakes? I'm like, I'll learn, like, you know, like, I want to do this shit. I'm not here for just a paycheck. I want to fucking learn. So I had oil changes and brakes for a while, and most of the time I would do oil change, brakes in a day, like just one job of each, and then I'd be straight on training the rest of the fucking day sitting on the computer. I hated that shit. And they had a tire system I didn't like, where there was a shipping container outside where you'd put the tires, but the mechanic shouldn't have to fucking bring the tires outside. That's what the inventory guy's for. You know, he takes inventory of the tires, stacks the tires, where the tires go, which container, you know, like, that's not my fucking job. So I seen the person who was training me, Daniel, they come up and be like, hey, you want to go stack tires? No, I'm not doing that. You know, they go ask the other guy, no, I'm not doing that. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna be the same as those guys. I'm not being the fucking bitch around here. I'm not fucking stacking tires. And I know when you just start a job, you're supposed to go above and beyond. So I did do it for like a couple months, but like come around the 4th month, it was like, no, I'm not doing that no more. You know, it's dead ass winter time. I'm not dressing fucking 15 layers to come work in the shop with the possibility of having to take tires out. I'm not doing that. You know, inventory guy is already fucking dressed up. I'm not doing that shit, right? So the new guy comes out, the new front guy. He comes out and he's like, hey, you want to do some tires? I'm like, no. Like, I'm not dressed for that. It's minus like 10 outside, and I'm in a fucking mechanic suit, you know, like the blue pants, the blue overshirt, and a t-shirt. That's it. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. It's fucking cold out. He's like, okay, you can do training. So I'm doing training, and I'm talking to the guy who trained me about turbo systems, how they work, and like, you know. And the big boss comes in. I call him Weasel. Everyone around the shop calls him Weasel. So he comes in. He's like, hey, I want to talk to you. I'm like, finally, I get to sign the fucking contract and make some good money, and, you know, learn some fucking shit. So he comes out and he brings me to the office. He's like, hey, the relationship between us and you has to end, and this and that. And my first response was, so you're firing me? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what for? He's like, bad attitude. I'm like, what? For what? What kind of bad attitude did I have? He's like, when we asked you to do the tires, you know, you're the new guy, you should want to. I'm like, at what point am I not the new guy? You know, I've been here for like 6 months. I've watched 3 people come since I started here. Like, yeah, what? He's like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Shook his hand and fucked off out the door. I'm packing my shit up. I like, Daniel, my lift was here. Daniel was there. So I'm packing my shit up. He's like, what are you doing? You know, like, just laughing about it. I'm like, I just got fucking fired. he just smiles, dude. You know, smiles straight to the fucking front. Customers and everything, he's hooping. He's like, where's the fucking boss? In the office, now. So he goes to the office. He's bitching out the big boss. He goes back out to the shop. Big boss comes out. He's like, hey, you're fired. He's like, okay. Starts laughing in his face. Packs his shit up, fucks off. So they got dropped by 2 mechanics right there. You know, he was mid-turbo job. He grabbed the bolts, threw the bolts away. And so we got fired. He went like 3 towns away to work. I went on unemployment again. And then he messaged me up one day. He's like, hey, my dad needs a guy for tires. I'm like, fucking bet, right? So I go to work for his dad, and I think I did maybe 2 tires in the first like 5 months. Like, I was hired as a tire guy that didn't do tires, and like, I'm telling you, like, it's a year later, and I'm doing fucking timing belts and transmission jobs, and like, and at that company I worked 6 months, and I was just starting getting into brakes. Like, it really shows when people see the effort you want to put in, and they give you the knowledge and the drive to want to learn, bro. It's so different. So if you are a mechanic, right, and you got to deal with the type of shit that I dealt with these fucking shitty bosses, right, find that guy, right? He's the jokester, he's the hard-working fucking, always on time, like find that guy and try and get under his wing, because he will fucking shoot you to the sky. Alright, I'm at the store here. I'll be right back. I gotta grab some drinks and shit. Alright. So, yeah. Back to the whole being a mechanic thing. Find that guy that just knows everything, you know. He put the effort in to go through school and all that shit. And get him to teach you everything. Like, as much knowledge as you can get. Nothing trumps experience when it comes to that. When you're experienced at something, it's just so fucking, it's just natural at that point, right? So when you got a guy that knows every little trick for every little piece and how every little part of the car works, it's so fucking, like, it's crazy. Like, someone could know so much about something. It's insane. Luckily the guy that well, not the guy that erased what I just said there, my boss, my current boss, he fucked off like a month or so before me and Daniel got fired, because he was sick. He was out sick for like a week, you know, like he worked at that company for I think it was like 30 years. He got sick and he needed a week off, right? And he seen the boss at the store, like, you know, you still gotta be a fucking adult even when you're sick. So he went to the store to get whatever the fuck he needed. Seen the boss, and the boss was like, enjoying your vacation? And that was the final straw for him, you know, like, yeah, fuck this place. So he fucked off. He went and started his own shit. That's the company I now work for. Like, and that was the best decision I think he ever made. It's crazy. So yeah, that's my experience of being a mechanic. I think a lot of people have that similar type of experience, other than the whole getting a job with a person who used to just work with you type thing. So I think that's going to be today's video, is the whole mechanic speech. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. Next time I see you guys, I should be driving my truck, so look out for that. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.